It's recording.
Hi, welcome to another episode of That's Thing Accent Core Plus R. It is episode point zero. It is episode 0.84,
Yeah.
and it is somewhere between Tuesday the 16th and Friday the 20th.
Could even be on a Sunday. Who knows?
Who knows at this
Who
point?
knows? It's
Who
it's
knows?
it's chaos.
We have come off the tracks. A birthday train is loose.
Yeah. Drew was admonishing me for buying Magic the Gathering cards.
He was sober. You don't understand.
He had his
It's been a decade plus since he bought any Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. But now I'm back in. Also, it sucks because like my old Magic cards were like destroyed / thrown away in like a move.
Yeah, that happens.
Thankfully, there was like nothing there of worth. The only thing really of worth, I think I had like a reprint Birds of Paradise that would have been nice.
Yeah, and I think some of your Mirrodin stuff might have been maybe worth something,
Yeah, like
but
well, it's the
but it's also in bad. All of it is in bad condition.
oh, it's nasty. It's like there's like so many. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh channel I watched. It was really funny, where like they're talking about like in the olden days, and the guys are showing up, and one guy's like, "Yo, I got my deck," and he pulls out just a bunch of cards from his pocket, held with like 2 rubber bands. And the guy was like, "Yo, that's gonna hurt your cards. Let me show you how it's done." And he pulled out like a Ziploc bag.
Those were the days.
And I'm like, "Yeah, here we go." I'm like, "Oh man,
Oh,
that's the good
it's a
stuff."
Ziploc bag.
Yeah, it was a really good video because they were just doing stuff, and you could
Oh
see
my.
like one guy was saying like, "No, you can't play that. That's not how they do in the show. I'm gonna play mine in face down attack mode." He goes, "Oh man,
Oh
that's a strong
God!
move."
Now I want to make a deck and go somewhere, and all of the cards are in individual plastic bags.
There was a Ristic Studies video about that where it was like some card distributor guy. He has 2 decks. One of them is every card is in the worst possible condition he could find. Like so it's like all right, he bought this card. It was some guy's like the dog. One of them like a dog literally chewed on it and it's like damaged. He goes, "Nah, I'm playing it because
Legal.
it's legal." One of them was like water damaged. One of them just someone drew on it, like their brother drew on it or something. And he goes like, "Yeah, I'll tie that for like 25 cents and put it in my deck." And then he has the inverse, which is all sealed promos in like the little bag. But anyway, yeah, I haven't played Magic the Gathering yet in person.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be trying that out on Friday, and then I'll probably
Are you
lose.
going to wait? No, G2K doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's
As
No.
long-time listeners know.
it's the Mulligan's Gaming Pub. That
Yes!
told me about.
Yes!
Yo, that place is like I walked in there and I'm like, wow, this is like a legit store. It doesn't look like a
Fucking
basement.
cool, right?
It's like an actual. It doesn't look like not that I mind. Like most game comic book
Yeah.
stores I've been in look and smell like a basement, and I think that's part of the charm. But this one's like it's like an actual place. You're like, oh man, there's like it's clean. There's
Mhm.
tables. There's not just like racks of like cardboard and used comic books that no one's gonna want, but they're there anyway.
Mm.
Like it's wild. So yeah, I wanted to do that.
Where's it at?
It's downtown.
Okay, makes sense.
To put it in your mind, remember where Hands On Museum used to be? It's across from that.
Mm.
So like that can like for any of the old Johnson City boomers.
Oh, the Johnson City heads.
Yeah, you'll know where that is because now the just Hands On Museum is part of the Gray Fossil site.
Man.
Like which makes sense. Like honestly, I was like against that, and then I realized I'm like, no, that like of course you're gonna
That
put
makes
the
sense.
children's museum next to the dinosaur, the dinosaur excavation. That's like,
Yep.
yeah.
There's an episode of Andy Griffith where a guy like shows up in town and he knows everyone and he's a complete stranger though.
I remember that
And it turns
episode.
out he's just been taking the like Mayberry local newspaper for years.
Yeah, because like he like was in the war or something, and like his
Yeah, and like
his army pal like always
told
talked
him
about
about it.
Mayberry, and he goes, "I'd always like to live
And
here."
I want that, but for Johnson City
Oh
and this
man,
podcast.
you'd have like 4 places.
Yep. It's like, oh look, there's the abandoned G2K.
Oh man, I remember that. See, G2K kind of looked like a basement.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like
Yep.
it's like a pawn store in a basement. Like the back room was like that's what most game store typically looks like, where it's like and then
Yeah.
the front was like a pawn shop, and then which is like I would say something like it's like a GameStop, but GameStop's already pawn stores selling their NFTs now. Get on that hype. So what?
No,
What
I'm really glad that place opened because like not only do they have like their magic stuff, but also
oh, they have like Warhammer stuff.
they have Warhammer stuff. They have like just D&D tables,
Yeah,
and they're free to use up till 6, and then you got to pay like $5 a person
which
to
is
use them.
conveniently like the price of a Magic the Gathering pack. Like that's
Mm.
the table fee is like I looked online is it's waived if you just buy something. So it's like, oh no, you just show up on Friday Night Magic at 7, and then you buy like 1 pack and you're good. It's like
Then there's also
do that anyway.
then there's also like the pub aspect to it, which is like you can get something to eat too if you're hungry.
I think,
And then I think they're gonna get drinks here soon.
yeah, I think they have like a liquor license, or they're working on it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which I would not recommend doing if trying to play Magic the Gathering.
No.
You need your brain cell. You need it.
I feel like there's gonna be that one person that has that awful deck.
You do that if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like that's different.
Yeah.
Because that you can be inebriated and still like deal with it.
I have like 4 friends that just got into Magic because they were hanging around Mulligans. And like, oh, let me try it out. And now they're trapped.
Yeah. Welcome to the
It's
now 4, I guess.
yeah.
They
No,
lure you in with
like,
alcohol.
I've been in there for too long. I've been in and out of Magic the Gathering since like 1996. Actually, what? Hold on. You talk about something. I need to find something.
I think he's going back in. I will 100% say it's my fault. I'm sorry about this, Drew.
Yo, yeah. Nolan did it.
It's okay. Have you played Magic, Nolan?
No, never.
Don't.
Yeah.
It's expensive. Also, don't buy packs. Don't buy packs.
I was gonna say no. I have a life.
Okay, so it's good. No, do that. Okay, yeah. So it was 98.
You hold on to that life, Nolan, and don't let it
Yeah,
go.
don't be like me.
Oh, fuck.
See, but
man.
it's really no. That's part of the thing is like my intent to play like I'm not going to play the 6. It's you buy the commander deck and then you buy like a couple of like 50-cent cards to upgrade it, because apparently my arena, like what I gather cards worth in Magic Arena is way different than like in paper. Because in Arena every rare is technically worth the same as one wild card. But in paper, like there are rares that are like, yeah, that's 50 cents, and then that one's like $50.
Mm-hmm.
Which means in Arena, it's way cheaper to play like the single player 60 card deck, because it's like, yeah, it's like 20 rares. Whereas in like, I looked on the MTG Goldfish and all those decks are like $400, and I'm like, no, thank you, we're not doing that. I'm not that far in.
It really makes you upset when you buy 4 Okos and then they ban him.
hell yeah. That's why you don't. My Magic the Gathering is
There, I'm gonna put this in there for you, Drew, so you kind of know what we're dealing with.
yeah, like it looks nice. It's a nice looking place.
It's so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really nice.
It's fancy. It's like like I walked in there, I'm like, oh, this is a fancy place. This is not like this is not what I'm used to. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been looking at Magic the Gathering.
Hmm.
Despite playing, like I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get in there.
Once I finish like some of my Warhammer stuff, I might go because they have like event nights too,
Oh yeah,
where it's like
I went on the Discord so I could just check on their crap.
even better.
Yeah, they just post stuff. It's not. It's like it's shockingly good. It's what I had like mentally what I would do with a game store, when my mental game store of like I was gonna make G240K, where it'd be like classy and not look like a dumpster. I'm like that because I'm like, am I gonna have to do this? And it's like, no, I don't have to do it.
Not look like I don't know any comic book shop ever.
Well, there is the charm of the comic book store. I'm not gonna
Yep.
lie.
No, I mean that's just a part of it. That's just how they look.
Yeah, but it's like
But also, maybe I want other vendors besides regulars to come in
Yes.
and to feel welcome.
or maybe I want to feel classy when I'm out
Yeah.
there. God, I gotta buy sleeves for my cards. I gotta go do that. I was gonna do that yesterday, but the car had a flat tire. Well, not flat. It had.
Oh.
And I had to go. Yeah, that had to be fixed. So my thing was dealt with. It wasn't bad. It was just like $10, and they took out the screw and patched it up.
Yeah. You go to Larry's.
Yeah, Larry's Tire. They've done me right. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I would sell. I would 100%. You know what? Even not sell it out. If you're in Tri-Cities and your tire goes bad, Larry's Tire, they'll hook you up.
Yep.
They have like saved me several times. And the guys,
They will treat you right.
They seem legit. Like they're like, listen, like we really know we're gonna get you this tire. I mean, it's kind of used, but like you could get that one, but this is the cheaper one. And you're like, oh, that's really pleasant. Thank you.
Yep. I went in there once after I'd blown it, and like, they didn't charge me anything. They just threw a new one on and sent me on my way. I was like, man, you guys are great.
Yeah. Like it's for automotive crap. That's like the most honest I've ever seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But yo, what about you guys? Because I can keep talking about crap. I can go.
We talk about Larry's tires all day.
Yo, I'll talk about them tires all day, every day.
No. So I want to know about RRR. I have to know about RRR.
Okay. So, have you ever wanted to watch a 3-hour long Indian face-off, essentially? Not face-off as in like it's the face-off plot. It's like the feeling of like a John Woo movie.
Oh, 3-hour Indian John Woo picture.
Yeah.
I know that the plot is like about like the British like colonization of India and then India rebels.
Okay, so let me start with RRR. So the first R is for fire.
Okay.
But the R in fire is the R.
Okay.
Now the last R is for water. But you know the R that's in water.
Okay, that's baffling because I thought it was.
And when they come,
okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. What do you think it was?
Something like Revenge Revolution, like something like that.
Guess what? It also is because when both the R's come together after stopping a train and saving a child, it becomes RRR, which is Rise Up, Revolt, and no, it's Rise, Roar, Revolt.
Okay.
Is I guess the title of the movie. It's the greatest, most insane thing I've ever watched. Holy shit! Now imagine if I don't know, the greatest cop ever, who is like, you know what? I'm black, but I'm the greatest riot cop there's ever been, and I gotta help these white people beat up these black people,
Oh,
even though the white people are definitely in the wrong. Versus, I'm a wild savage man from the jungle, and they've taken away a child from the village, and I have to go to the city and get the child back from the governor of the area.
okay, so it's like Ong Bak has to show up, but it's a child instead of an elephant.
Yes. And the whole thing is oh no, the cop guy's like, the wild man's in the city. I don't know what he looks like. I gotta go find him. Only to have like both of, and then the wild man's like, I gotta find where this kid's at, no matter what. I gotta stay away from the cops. Only to stop an exploding train from murdering a child. And then when they do, they run into each other. And they, the arm grab between like two men that automatically become friends.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what they do, and then immediately best friends forever, helping each other with like girl problems and stuff, but also in the background, I gotta find this wild man.
Oh no.
I gotta make sure these cops don't catch me.
How many dance numbers are there?
4, and they're like 20 minutes each, and it's just skip them because they're worthless and they suck.
That's the part of like the Bollywood movies I never liked.
I don't get no.
Like I just don't like.
I want to get to the part where the guy has to drive a truck full of animals in cages and release them into the governor's party.
Yeah, it's
so
like,
that he can break in and get the child back.
I feel like it's I don't maybe it's my cultural insensitivity, but it's just like I don't think the random impromptu like highly choreographed dance, like I don't really like musicals, and I don't like regular movies to turn into a musical for like 20 minutes. I think that's it.
What, you don't? First of all, you don't like the part where the guy's being whipped on top of a platform and he starts singing?
Yeah.
While they're like just beating the living crap out of him, and everyone's like, "Oh no, the poor man."
Did you watch it subbed or dubbed?
Subbed.
Yeah.
That's the only right way to do it.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. And then it ends. Then they team up. So what we figure out is the cop guy actually isn't a bad cop. What he is I have to become a cop, and I got to get to like the officer ranking, which is why I got to turn Savage Man in, so I can get guns for the resistance.
Oh.
So it's a flip.
Oh, that's actually cool.
Meanwhile, the Savage Man is not really a savage man. He's like, I gotta become a high-ranking noble official so I can oppress the proletariat.
I don't fucking understand. He's like, he lives in the forest, but like you open to him and he's like, yeah, I know how motorcycles work. No problem. I fix them all the time.
Oh, he should just be like a genius, or like an exiled prince or something, where like he grew up in the wilds, and now he's.
Listen, there's one thing they do know about, the wild man is he loves the white women.
Is that how they lure him?
No. It's like the daughter of the governor or something, and it's like, oh, I love Indian people and I love the culture, and he's like, I can't speak English, but I think you're pretty. And there's like maybe 30 minutes of that, and I'm like, okay, let's get to the action, where people are punching each other and flying 20 feet in the air.
Can you tell me?
Oh, you go.
No, you can go ahead. You go ahead. Mine's up.
So what you're saying is this movie is like all movies. So instead of making like 3 different movies, they just made them all the same movie. We have our
Yes.
action adventure rom-com historical epic thriller comedy with animals.
Comments on
It's
society.
some Indian guy just got all the movies from the 80s and just watched them all in a complete sitting and then created this from it.
Because that's what it sounds like. It's like, no, we're
It
just
is
going to
the-
turn into this movie for a bit.
It's fucking... I can't say I like it, but I also can't really say I hate it.
How does he end up in the situation where the tiger is attacking him?
Oh, so to prove his strength, he's got to catch the tiger. No. So this is another part. So during the big like break-in into the mansion, he has to get a bunch of animals together. So he's just trapping wild tigers and panthers and shit. And then he puts them in the back of the truck and then crashes the truck into the mansion. And they all just fly out of their cages.
Okay.
That's why he's got to fight the tiger and show his strength. Just like the riot cop has to
I don't know.
go beat up a bunch of protesters to show how strong
Like,
he is.
the only clip I've seen of this movie is where like he's trying to he's caught the tiger, but now he has to hook the 2 ropes together to keep it in place. And so it is literally his strength versus the tiger's strength.
And he's strong enough, but the rope breaks, so he's got to strangle the tiger.
Good.
Fucking dude.
I watched a way less interesting movie called Day Shift on Netflix, which I thought was going to be really good, and then it kind of...
Yeah,
I saw that.
It peters out, doesn't it?
It's like
Snoop Dogg is in it.
I feel like that movie, I'm looking at a film that has all the puzzle pieces in there, and then they put it together wrong. Like,
so wait, okay. I want to ask you, when did the movie start falling apart for you? Because it started falling apart for me when the vampire runs out and they don't chase it. And they're just like, oh, this thing happened. This thing.
I think it started to fall apart for me after he went. Okay, so spoilers or whatever for like Day Shift. Jamie Foxx fights vampires. You'd think it'd be really good, or at least like dumb good,
entertaining.
Yeah, like you think it would be a 7 to 8 out of 10 action movie you watch and you go, you know what? That's a good evening. I spent that well. I'm glad, and I like urban fantasy. The movie to me petered out. It was like after he rejoined the Union and was teamed up with Nerdy Guy, and they kept trying to do like they did the thing where they gave you enough world building and exposition that it made stuff just not make any sense anymore. Or I'm like, so why? Like, did the movie ever explain why they used vampire fangs? Like, why they're worth so much money? Did I miss that?
No. So what I feel like they didn't explain it because it feels like, oh, this is a government agency. Because how would they fund themselves? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, and there's, like, stuff where it's like, why is there, like, a black market for this? Why is there, like it tries
Who's buying it?
Yeah, it tries to do the John Wick thing of have, like, your kind of vaguely mentioned assassin society, but they mention too much, which makes it confusing. Or, like, some stuff has, like, here's all these vampire breeds and stuff, but then you don't really talk about it, or, like why did the lady have like death powers?
Yeah.
Why can she move at supersonic speed and punch Jamie Foxx like where he's like body in midair starts rotating and he just kind of gets up? Like he would be.
They explained like 2, and I'm like, that's cool, but you have 6, and I don't know what the other ones are, which are the Ubers.
Yeah, there's the Ubers,
which I guess are the really strong ones, and then the Juvies, which are the weak little baby ones that
and then there's
a normal human could kind of beat.
Yeah, because they don't regenerate. And then
But there's the spiders or the Easterns. Are you like what makes these special? I don't know what's going on.
I don't. Yeah, there's it feels like it's trying to set up things, but it doesn't make sense. I also felt like the comedy fell flat in that film. Like a lot of the jokes, I think, fell flat.
What, you didn't like when Dave Franco pissed himself twice? And
No,
that's the joke? It's like,
no.
that's my thing. I piss myself.
And then they call him Pee Pee Boy or whatever.
Man.
And I'm like, no.
That sounds like fetish material.
Hey,
And then like they go into in depth like it's just they keep going in depth about stuff that like they explain like we got to make our bullets out of like wood and then like garlic and silver to kill the vampires or whatever.
So, oh yeah, but we can also just cut their heads off.
Yeah, with
With
like a
silver.
knife. I don't know. It's just the fights were okay. Like that's the thing. Like the fights were okay. But like it's weird to say for a movie, but like the plot really lets it down. Even though,
Acting was. I mean, I like Dave, and he does okay. Snoop Dogg just does Snoop Dogg, so
yeah, Snoop Dogg's just
really
there. I thought Snoop Dogg was fine.
He said maybe 20 words, and he's like one of the main characters.
Yeah.
He says, "I'm out," and "Yo, what's up?"
And then
And it's like, "I got you."
he says
Snoop
like I
is
got
about
you
the
like
paycheck.
4 times. That's like 4 of his lines. Snoop Dogg
Fucking
appears,
Christ.
goes, "Yeah, man, trust me," and then walks away.
He's a black cowboy that all the ladies love.
I liked that though. That
Yeah.
was when I was
Big
still
John,
in the
I like-
movie. I was
Yeah,
I was still in the movie until he rejoined the Union, and I started to not get in the movie because like I was like, well,
that immediately made me think, like, why is if it's so easy to get back in the Union, why hasn't he done this earlier? This doesn't make sense.
I also didn't think it made sense because Jamie Foxx is not good enough of a vampire hunter to warrant all the reckless endangerment that apparently he's caused.
Man,
Like, he's still having trouble with like 5 vampires, where you'd think if he was that good, he'd like Snoop Dogg in the movie is portrayed as good enough where he could just like blow up a building and then they'd say we have to keep him, he's too good.
he's too good. He's the best. He's the best.
He is literally the best. He gets to break every rule because
He is K from the Men in Black.
yeah, he's the strongest and the toughest. And then I didn't get because then the guy Franco became like a vampire, but then he still
Okay,
worked in
so-
there, and like, are there good vampires now? Like,
Yeah,
what?
so at one point they get into conversations like, oh, you know, I feel Dave Franco's like, I feel bad because I don't want to kill them because they used to be human. Jamie Foxx is like, don't worry about that. They're just monsters now. And then immediately becomes a vampire. And it's like, well, I guess we're hanging out now. And then they find another friendly vampire. And like, isn't your job to murder them and steal their teeth for some
Yeah.
reason? So you're just going to keep them hanging
like-
around? I don't fucking get it.
Like, it's a weird morality, and it's so weird that it took me out. It takes like it's the kind of thing where it takes you out of the movie because it's like where are we going here? This is
The second like they started talking about like sunscreen and stuff, and they just let that one vampire run away. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that
what's
was-
going on?
yeah, like I didn't get it. They just let him go.
They shoot him in the back, and he's got like sunscreen on, so I guess he's protected for the sun.
Yeah,
For a little bit.
That's apparently like the big MacGuffin thing is that like the real estate lady who I did like there's parts
Yes.
of this movie like I like that the vampire lord is a real estate lady who's like basically using like condo development to hide vampire nest in. Like that's cool.
Yeah, that's great.
I like that. That's classic Vampire the Masquerade of like skeezy real life being actually a vampire. I like that. But then it's like the key MacGuffin is that they made just strong enough sunscreen so the vampires can go out into the day. But then like there's an action scene where like the vampire's just wearing like a motorcycle helmet and biker gear and they're just chasing Jamie Foxx in like broad daylight.
You know what? There's one scene in this movie I'm like, that's cool, that's smart. Is where Jamie Foxx runs to the end of the little waterway.
Oh yeah,
And it's
that,
like- oh, my truck's too big, it can't fit, and then he pops all 4 tires so it drops down and he can fit into it. I'm like, damn, that's good.
That's good. Well, there's some good, like there's some good scenes. There's some good fight scenes. There's some good like action core. That's I think what's frustrating about the movie is that the action choreography is like fine to good. It's like in an action movie, you nailed the hard part, and if you just like if the story was generic, like just bland, I think it would work
Yeah.
better. I think it would work far better if it was literally like Jamie Foxx. Like I thought the movie was gonna be like like James, what not James Franco, other Franco,
Dave.
yeah, Dave Franco attacked by vampire, saved by Jamie Foxx, and then is introduced to the wacky world of vampire killing. I thought that was gonna be like the movie, but then it's like no, it's convoluted in like an unnecessary way.
If they can get like, because I feel like it's technically a success because everyone's watching it,
Oh yeah, it's
and from what I hear, they're all middling reviews. So it's like, hey, Netflix success. It'll probably get a sequel because they keep talking about El Jefe.
yeah, it's the
So maybe they can.
vampire.
Yeah, the
But is it like
Which
the Gray
also-
Man, where it's like middling reviews to a movie that cost them way too much money?
I liked the Gray Man.
this definitely
Did you like
not
the Gray
cost them a
Man
lot of
$200
money.
million?
No, that was like it's like it was that. Yeah, okay. I think that was my response. Was like because my dad and I we watched it and we're like, that's a fine movie, but it's not like it's not like Mission Impossible money. Like to me, you got to be like Mission Impossible good to get like that 200 mil. Or like every Mission Impossible is a banger.
Yeah,
But yeah, I thought there's ideas here. Just poach one of like the Vampire the Masquerade writers and have them write you a story. They could do
But not
Honestly,
the
yeah.
modern ones.
yeah, no, yeah, the ones that weren't like racist and stuff. They're like not those ones. Not the you got to get that one out of here. Or the one guy who like they like wrote one of them that was like they had to be disavowed by the community because the guy was real bad. I think it was like Beast the Primordial is like completely like excised because like the dude who wrote it was like a bad dude. Anyway, what else is going on? 'Cause if you don't talk, I will. I played Rumble.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I think that game is pretty good. I like it. I feel like it is going to die within like 3 months.
Yeah.
I feel like that game is born to die, even though I think it's good. It plays well. And my personal theory is because it's published by Epic, like part of that's going to be rolled into Fortnite. There's going to be like a melee mode in Fortnite or something, and that's going to be what Rumbleverse is going to turn into. That's
I don't see this game having a long-term market.
yeah. That's what like and I think it's good. It's not. I'm not like the servers were bad, and I was upset when I tried to stream it. But basically, like matches take too long to get into.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-minute wait between matches.
Which
Is,
I think that's just launch day. I think that's like launch day, launch weekend. I think give that a week or two, and that should be better.
no, that's not my concern about like that's like the queues and the server stuff. The 2-minute wait I think is concerning because that means it's population count for your 40-person like battle royale. It means it's not filling up as quickly. Or it's not finding a game or something's going on.
See, I saw reports where like there was an issue with like the queue thing. So like the reason it's like taking so long is because like they can only I don't know if it's like they can only host so many matches at a time or what, but basically it's like when you enter a queue, you're entering like the line, and you have to wait for your turn to write, is what it sounded like.
Yeah, it's either too much or not enough, but I don't. It's
Yeah.
just, I think I like. So here's my theory about Rumbleverse, because you see a lot of people complaining about like the art style of it, which I actually don't think is bad. I think it's pretty good. My theory is that because there's like a male and a female option, and you have like buff, thin, and fat for both male and female. And I think the
Yeah.
complaints are there is not sexy lady as an option. Like I swear and you would name it Diva because that's the WWE. You name it your Diva or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think there's not quote unquote sexy enough, and I think people are upset. That is my theory.
I
There
can
needs
believe
to
that.
it needs to be a face on.
Yeah, and like some of the
Like, it's
faces.
called the face.
Yeah, like you need basically you have like diva face and diva body, where it's like traditional big booba like wrestler diva, and you're like, there you go. Because all the other ones I think are fine. Like I think like I like all like I made my guy super huge. It looks fine. The fat
Nice.
guy looks great.
I like really skinny guy.
Really skinny
Yeah,
guy is pretty
I
good.
like really skinny guy.
Really skinny guy, like when someone's coming at you with like really skinny guy and like his underwear or wrestling shorts, it's very intimidating because you're
It's scary.
like if you imagine
You want to
that
get out
on
of
the
there.
street, there's like a man who's running at you with like his boxer shorts on. You're like, oh man, this is bad. Not even about like tidy whities. Like there's something more. I think tidy whities are very like that span. Like that's intimidating. Like boxer shorts, you know, like okay, that's kind of, but it's like, oh man, that's unhinged.
That is Hal from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, but if Hal was
Homer
screaming at
Simpson.
you and then gonna like do like a pile driver to you, it's real bad.
You know, if they do a pretty girl, pretty guy version where it's like you know, here's the handsome,
Yeah,
beautiful people. I want just like a Mick Foley or like a Kane character
oh yeah.
where they're just messed up and, you know, ugly.
Well, I mean yeah, like I think it's weird. I think that's the big complaint of the art style. I think that's people the Coomers can't handle it.
It reminds me of like 20 other free to play games that had that exact same look.
It kind of
Yeah.
looks like Clash of Clans.
Uh-huh.
Or
Clash
what was that?
Royale.
There was that
It's,
one like third person shooter.
Valorant.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It makes me think of the CG equivalent to like all the Facebook ads and like the Google ads.
Oh,
you
the
know, like
yeah.
big-
Grubhub ad.
Grubhub, yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
like Grubhub ad the fighter.
yeah.
Or like it's sort of Pixar, but it's like on a commercial, like legally distinct budget. It's like
I feel like-
Illumination.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's the commercial that's selling me something for back pain or if I have pain
Head-on.
problems. Yes.
Yeah.
How about you slam that headache, body slam that headache right
Yeah.
into submission, and then Mucinex is there. Yo, get that Mucinex crossover. Fortnite's gonna have Goku. in
Yeah,
it.
that's
You
the
get-
body.
You
The
get
Mucinex.
Mucinex. You go, Mucinex arrives to
Oh my god.
Rumbleverse. Like what we got? Multiverse.
He's gonna
has
clear out
Rick and
the fight.
Morty. Fortnite has Goku. Rumbleverse has Mucinex and like the Charmin Bears. There you go. Get in there.
How about you, Drew? What have you been up to?
We started to watch Prey, and then we got into a disagreement on the quality of the translation. So
Huh.
we stopped watching Prey.
That's good.
Which version did you listen to?
So the film is originally filmed in English, and afterwards they went through and did a
Like a
Comanche
yeah, it's like
dub
a
A
of it.
dub.
Yeah. So we're watching it in English. And like Kelsey felt that she did not like how modern the characters were speaking. And okay, that is a fair point, but also Comanche is not English anyway. So they don't need, just because this is in the 1700s, they do not need to be talking like they are in the 1700s English. Like, I personally think it's more important to capture the feel of what they are saying than like whatever could be like a a period setting vernacular.
That only
Yeah,
works if you're
honestly,
going really deep in there.
there's bits of the dub where, like, I don't know, it's where like their mouths are moving, but the words don't really match up to what they're saying in the Comanche.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, I
Yeah, I
like
know.
it, but
Yeah, like I wanted to watch it in Comanche. That's, to me, I think would be better.
yeah, it's
But
cool they did
it's
that too.
yes, I'm a big fan of that.
My historical realism goes away once the Predator is in there. That would be my argument. Where this is not like a like Predator is here. The alien who has lasers. Once he shows up, you gotta like, all right, take some
Okay.
artistic liberties.
So, this is something I really like about the movie, which is since it's 300 years in the past. All we have is like bows and sticks and stuff.
Yeah, maybe like a
But
Yeah.
for the
musket.
Predator, it's also 300 years in the past, so their tech isn't as good. They don't have energy weapons. Their cloak is kind of shitty.
Which I always thought made. I thought it was more like they hunt according to like the technological like means of their like prey, where it's like.
Well, I mean, we don't do that.
We'll
Yeah, no, because
we don't go out with
awful.
we
they
don't
just
go out with a knife to hunt a lion.
yeah. Well, they also hunt aliens, so
Well,
they
the
just
aliens,
wanna
you
hunt
need the
stuff.
plasma caster. You don't need that against like. Well, maybe you do.
like you see him beat a bear to death, and it's like, yeah, okay, with no weapons.
That is true. The predators are also just really tough. Just
Yeah.
like a predator could like a predator rips apart a bear. That's a
One of the best moments is so like at a certain point, they run into the real antagonists of the movie,
White people.
French French fur trappers. Good. Speaking in Quebecese.
So
Quebec.
The degens from up country.
Exactly.
I watched the first episode of Shoresy. That's also something I did this week.
Shoresy's good.
Oh, nice.
I'm excited for it, but also it felt like there were way too many ads for a 30-minute show.
Yes.
Well, that's the world we're approaching. We have to suffer through that when my dad and I are watching like old TV that you have to get on like Freevee and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, here it comes.
Listen, if it's free, I don't care. Tubi, I love. I think Tubi is maybe my favorite streaming service right now.
I'm watching Line Walker. My dad and I are watching Line Walker on Tubi. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Columbo is on Tubi. Like, there is so much good and weird stuff on Tubi because they're just scraping the bottom of the barrel for it. Oh, so good.
Anyway, about what you were talking.
The Frenchers.
Oh yeah, I know. And then there's like an awesome fight scene where Predator just murders, I don't know, 30 men in the middle of a forest.
50 men.
Yeah, fit him in.
They took my shins.
He does get stabbed in his knee, so yes.
Good.
So this is the Cotton Hill of predators. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
See, I kind of like. Part of me likes that idea of like there's like two forms of predator. There's like I'm on the hunt with you and I'm doing stuff, and then oh, there's just those guys. I'm just gonna like wipe them out in like a second because that's not the game. That's not the hunt.
Listen, you're just trying to hunt down the predator, and then you hear ho ho ho, and you get kidnapped. Sacre bleu. Come on. That's all I was saying. I was sitting here watching him, and that's all I was saying in my head. It's like ho ho ho.
Omelette du fromage.
Well, that's what the Comanche dub should have had in it as well. Every time there's a French person on screen.
Yeah, it's just omelette du fromage.
That or anytime there's someone speaking a Western language that's just replaced with
Howdy, y'all. Howdy, y'all.
oh, bonjour, y'all. Bonjour, y'all.
And then at some point she picks up an old-timey flintlock pistol, and you look down, and it's the pistol from Predator 2.
Oh, that's nice.
Hmm.
So would you say that Prey is like the second best Predator movie, or is it the best Predator movie?
It's definitely in the top 3. I don't know if it's number 1 or number 2, but it's definitely in the top 3. Along with First Predator, and Predators.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I forgot about Predators for a second.
I mean, because to me, Predator's a classic. It's a classic. I think it's
top to bottom, fantastic.
Yeah, that's why I would give it number 1. It's so good.
It is so strong that it has continued the franchise despite no good sequels coming out.
Like for when was Predator like 86 or something? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that thing has been going on for like 30 years off of like one movie.
One movie.
Out of 8 movies, there's maybe 3 good ones.
Yeah, so 87. Yeah. So basically that there's Alien and Aliens, there's 2 movies. 2 movies are keeping that ship going, whereas Predator is just 1 movie.
Predator is Atlas holding up that entire franchise.
Yeah.
And it sounds like with like Prey and Predators, we're starting to get some that are like not embarrassed to be like a sequel.
Predators is almost always number 3, but
yeah.
Prey, I'll have to like watch it again.
Well,
to really
it's time. You've had like there's always like time changes how I feel about stuff.
So is AVP a PG-13 movie?
Yes.
Or is it R still?
AVP
I think that's
PG-13,
what hurts.
And Alien vs. Requiem. Alien vs. Predator Requiem is R. Because Alien vs. Predator Requiem did not shy away from killing that child, and that's how you know it's an R-rated movie.
Because I feel like if it was an R-rated picture, Alien vs. Predator would be better. Because my brain still likes AVP. I like he's about to kill the old man, and then he sees he's riddled with cancer, and he's like, "Oh, you're not worth anything," and just throws him away.
When I think of AVP, all I do is immediately jump to the part where her and the Predator are working together to fight aliens, and that's it. That's all. That's all that movie is in my mind.
That's also a cool part. And then the Predators acknowledge her as a hunter.
I just remember how like the alien was either nothing or like one of them killed like 2 predators.
One of them was just murdering predators
for like
constantly.
it was like for like no reason. It's the one that had like the net on its head and it kind of got engraved.
He was scarred, so that's how you know he was good old one eye.
Yeah, he was old one, and then the queen showed up. And then the less spoken about that other one with Olivia Munn, the better.
Oh, can we talk about where it's pumping eggs into down their throats?
That's Requiem.
Right,
Oh, which one did you mean?
we're talking about
Oh,
autism.
you meant the Predator
Yeah, the Predator,
or what?
the bad
I
one,
forget that movie exists.
the one that took the crown from like Predator 2 as worst Predator movie.
That's candy.
I like that scene.
Just keeps playing that track.
I like that scene kind of the
Well,
same
hold
way
on.
I like Tobey Maguire as evil Spider-Man, where it's like, yay, I clapped.
Well, hold on. We got to give Predator 2 some props because if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have Concrete Jungle.
Oh yeah, the real Predator, where like the mob steals Predators guns, and then he has to go to the future and stop them.
I'm like, look, I can't remember if this is true or not, but I'm pretty sure. Did you guys ever see the movie Grandma's Boy?
Yes.
I have not.
I'm pretty sure the fake game he's working on is a modded version of Concrete Jungle
It's probably been done, and
because it has a lot of very similar assets in it.
I want to see fake video game the game.
Yes.
Someone make all the games you see on like TV that's like fake video game, but make it the
That'd
game.
be great.
There's
There's only one man that can do that, though. That's Suda51.
Yeah, Suda could do it. Or no, I don't know. What I was gonna say.
Sweary.
Yes, eh?
But yeah, like it's just like that's weird. Any other stuff to talk about? Oh yeah, we're gonna mention we're gonna talk about HBO canceling like everything.
Yeah, but I don't have time.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get back to this because this is an ongoing
Yeah,
thing.
it's ongoing. It's
the death of the greatest streaming service we had, now dead.
Yep.
Or it's
But Tubi's still there.
yeah, Tubi's still there.
You know what? Hey, Tubi's holding it up for us.
Tubi is the footprints in the sand.
No, that's what'll happen is all those animators have been laid off. So then on like the Tubi original, Barley Quinn, it'll show up. They'll
Oh yeah, Prumel.
yeah, Prumel, Rick and Morty somehow.
No, it'd be Morton Ricky.
Morton Ricky.
Mick and Rorty.
There you go. I turned myself into a pickle.
I turned myself into a vinegar-soaked cucumber.
Yeah.
I turned myself into Chow Chow.
I don't have any foods.
Kimchi.
There you go.
Kimchi.
I don't like kimchi. I think it smells bad. Not a
It's
fan.
fermented.
Not a fan. I don't like things that are fermented. No, I just don't like
Later days.
Bye.
Bye.